Okay, it's 6:30, everybody. We're going to get started. Can everybody hear me okay? We're here to have a public meeting about the sidewalk project from 3rd to 9th Street. First thing, I'm going to introduce the people that are involved in the project. I'm Brad Coulter. So I'm Brad Coulter, and I'm the Director of the Utilities and the Streets in Connersville. I want to introduce Walt Johnson. He's with the 5 Star Company. He's the project manager on this project. Chad Weitzel, who's with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert. He's the project supervisor inspection. Then Matt Ellsbury, who's the assistant project supervisor. He'll be here quite a bit. Doug Valmore is the project designer. Doug's hiding back here. And Jeremy Books, he's the project manager. This project was first thought about in about 2014, about 3 mayors ago, and everybody in the city has been working on getting it designed and getting all the details worked out. In the last year or so, we really ramped up figuring out what all was going to happen down there. The ADA facilities on this project area are in need, and that was a lot of the reason to do it. We also decided while we were replacing the sidewalk that we would fix up all the water lines in the area and replace those that are dated about 1921. So they're pretty bad shape. We've been pretty lucky not to have more leaks down there than we do. So that is the history of the project. I'm going to let Jeremy Books take over and tell us about the scope.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Just thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Make sure before you leave, if you don't already, you've got these 2 handouts with you. One's the agenda, the other one's got the key contact info for the people involved on the project. They're right up here, so anybody feel free to grab those. As Brad alluded to in the introductions, Chad and Matt are on our inspection team. So Butler, Fairman, and Seifert, we're the engineer on both the design side and the inspection side. Chad and Matt will be out here every day. If you get problems, questions, concerns, they're the people that we'll reach out to. They'll also be coming around to the businesses, talking to you, keeping you informed, letting you know what's going on as well. So make sure you get to know these 2 guys. Feel free to come up here afterward and introduce yourselves, get to know us. We'd love to chat with you. The other project roles, obviously the owner is the city of Connersville. So as Brad alluded to, the mayor and himself are the primary contacts there. And 5 Star is the contractor, so they'll be performing the work. They're responsible for all the means and methods. Obviously the laborers and the equipment that you'll see out on site is theirs to manage. So those are the different roles involved in the project. A little bit about the scope in general for replacing sidewalk, curb ramps, curb, water services, as Brad alluded to, a little bit of storm sewer, all the way from 3rd to 9th Street on Central Avenue. You'll probably have a few questions related to, what are the impacts to you? I think a couple of the big ones, obviously water services. We'll coordinate with you. There will be a shutdown of water for probably an hour or 2 in order to make the connection into your facility. Most of the water meter pits are inside, so we're going to have to coordinate with you to get in to make that connection. So that's one impact that you're going to have. Obviously access, I'm sure, is a concern for you. Walt's going to talk a little bit more about the details on that, what their game plan is. Again, they're responsible for the means and methods. But they're going to essentially start at 3rd Street here in late May and work their way north. Probably work about a block at a time. Contractually, they can't work more than 2 blocks at a time. They've got until September 15th to be done with the work contractually. They believe that they're going to move faster than that, but we'll see how things go. excavating and pouring back the concrete as soon as they can, hopefully within a few days. Other questions that may come up, several of the properties have basements on them that do extend out underneath the sidewalks. We are set up with hatches or plates to cover those back over, depending on the situation, to build a similar sort of chains as they are now. All right, I think I'll turn it over to Walt. I want to talk a little bit about your game plan on attack on this.
Yeah, thank you for that. You've touched on a lot of the questions I think that we were talking about earlier, and we've already started out there. I'm Walt Johnson with 5 Star again. You guys might have seen we've taken down some trees that had to be taken down to meet a first intermediate completion date by the end of March. We'll be then starting in late April, as Jeremy was talking about, around the 1st of May, and we'll be starting our construction down by 3rd Street. And just like he had talked about, we're going to work in controlled areas, do 1 city block to 2 city blocks. We'll be working on one side of the road at a time for the most part. Once we get one side of the road constructed, then we'll be moving to the other side, and then we'll just kind of work our way all the way towards 9th Street as the summer goes along. Now, our intent is to keep a controlled work site as small as we can, to not disrupt businesses and driveways and just the general traveling public. We will have safety devices out. We'll have signs. There are sidewalk closure signs that will be up. We'll be doing everything we can to make sure that people can get in and out of businesses. And we will, as we go along and as we're working, if we're working from south to north, don't be afraid to come out and ask questions to us. We're all in this together, so if you're worried about how your people are going to get into your business, your customers, or your home, or whatever it is, just ask us and we'll work something out as we get there. He talked a little bit about the water services. I think he covered that pretty well. It'll be something where we coordinate with each individual when we get there. We're not going to come in and just tear your water out and then you not know what happened. Now, if you go on vacation and you're not there, it could be something like that. We can't get a hold of you. But we'll be coordinating things as we work down through here on Central Avenue. Driveways are another thing. How we're going to get in and out, and we've talked kind of extensively about each scenario. It seems like a lot of businesses and buildings per se have other options. We hope you do, but if you don't, we can work it out where maybe we can be as least impactful as possible to what you're doing. Pedestrian traffic while your sidewalk is tore out, it's going to be closed, okay? But if you have a business, we can build ramps, we can put some gravel paths in, whatever we can do, we can delineate it with caution tape. There's a lot of things we can do. Again, we just want to talk with you if you own the property on this project, and we'll just work it out. But we're excited to be here. We look forward to working with all these guys and the city of Connersville and all of you, and we hope when we get done, everybody's happy and got a real beautiful project. So, turn it back over to you, Jeremy.
That's the basic overview. I'm sure there's questions. Like I say, make sure you get signed in up here and get the contact flyer. What questions do we have?
The design of this is already done, right?
Correct. Yes. It's got to be designed to be bid.
Or,
It's got to be designed in order to be bid for the contract. Right. Yes. Yep. And we'd be happy to share. If you want to come up afterwards, and if there's anything you want to look at and plan with us, we'd be happy to do that. Okay.
What kind of replacement trees are you planning? Because I know the gravel repairs can't be reused. I mean, they're invasive species now.
Yeah. Well, do you know what you've got?
I don't remember off the top of my head. That was one thing I didn't look at. But there's a variety. There's actually a variety of different trees, I think, through here. And kind of off the top of my head, I remember there being some pinkos.
What we did with that, Vivian, was we contacted Lindsay Purcell, who's a urban forester, urban arborist. He was for the city of Indianapolis Fisher's Carnival. He now teaches at Purdue, and he came down and designed the trees for the environment. He looked at the sunlight, he looked at the space, and every other requirements that a tree needs to be in an urban setting, and he designed everything that goes in this space. That way we got the right tree, the right plant for the right space.
Slow growing. You don't want them to grow out, fill out, and get above the height of the buildings quickly. They may eventually. And then we have problems with the roots.
Yes.
Pulling out the grates and that kind of stuff.
Lindsay's the expert.
Yeah, besides the Bradford pears, which I know Brad's the.
Bradford's are
Poster I
basic.
had was, they had them up at Richmond, they pulled them out, and because I got a 20 acres of a forest preserve, and I get these brochures from the state of Indiana, and Bradford pears were put on an invasive species list.
Yes.
It's not bad on concrete, but if you plant one out here, they sprout up these little sprouts everywhere, and they just go to town.
Yes.
It's very difficult to deal with.
Yes.
They're not even supposed to be sold. If they had an article where Lowe's or Menards was selling them, and the state came in a couple years ago and told them they had to haul them out in Indiana. You couldn't sell them in Indiana anymore, so. Okay, thank you.
How many trees will there be per block?
I think you have the CMP right there in front of you, Paul.
We talked about this the other day. I think we decided there were 17 total.
Yeah, 4 per block, 2 on each side.
Yeah, I think we took out 23, put 17 back.
Question, I may have missed it in the beginning, did you give us an estimated time of how long the sidewalk will be torn out?
So, yes, so overall contract time, they're going to start in April and be done by September 15th. But their plan is to be just several days from pour out to pour back in a single location is the hope. But they're only going to work one block at a time, as Walt has alluded to. Anybody else?
I wanted to tell you that I meant to mention before, we're going to do regular updates on Facebook like we usually do, and we'll talk to the newspaper and keep them informed and try to get stories in there periodically to get the word out about how things are progressing. And probably at least once every 2 weeks we'll have an update put out there in the public for everybody to know where we are.
Is the width of the street going to change?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The width of the street is going to change?
There's no change to the width of the street. Anybody else?
Just out of curiosity on the, were you going to talk to each individual business owner as you approach to see if there's a better way? I know our location is a little bit tricky, and I know our CEO actually talked to Brad and Chad yesterday about it. Is that kind of your plan as you approach those businesses to see what will work best?
It is,
Or is it
yeah.
rerouting traffic?
It is. Yeah, if you got a difficult situation or there's not a person there you think we can get in contact with, come up and talk to us afterwards, make sure we understand that, but that's typical. We just go, no, not going to go over and talk to people. Maybe we plan on being here next week, you can out on the sidewalk. Does that work for you? What are your concerns? Special things.
We've used these guys before on projects. They were on the Grand Avenue, and one of the reasons we wanted them again was because of their very good at working with the neighborhoods and the residents and everything. Everybody on the Grand Avenue project was really liked them a lot, that they came and talked to them in advance and warned them when things were going to happen. And I think that you'll be pleased with the communication level from Butler on this project.
Yeah, this is what we do every day. We know what you're going through, and we understand. We want there to be as least of an impact as possible, but there's going to be some impact to you. That's what these guys are here for. Like I said, again, Chad and Matt are your two main contacts. If you have questions, problems, concerns, you'll see them out on site when it's work happening. All right, anybody else?
The
Yeah.
book you we getting new street lights?
As far as the resurfacing, I think the city can answer that, not as part of this project.
Did you say lights?
Street lights.
Oh, streetlights, I'm sorry. So yes, it's not part of this project, but Duke is putting in new foundations and light poles into this project, but we're going to coordinate with them, and it'll be happening simultaneously. All right. Anybody else?
Do you want to say something, Mayor? Well, I appreciate all of you coming. If there's anything you want to talk about individually, if you'd rather walk up and talk to us, that's fine. I'm not speak in front of the whole crowd. We'll stick around for a while and just be looking for these guys to be out there. And like Walt says, they're approachable. Just go up to them and ask them a question if you have one. And you're going to see more of these guys than you probably want to. And I think that you'll find that both of them will try to work with you as best they can and make everybody end up being happy with the project. So
Make sure if you didn't get signed in up here,